Some children were playing in the woods one day when they came across a big tree stump. They saw the many rings on the stump and wondered what they meant. A beaver was building a dam in a nearby stream, so they asked him if he knew what the rings meant. He said, "Well, to me they represent success. When I fell a big tree with my mighty teeth, the more rings there are, the bigger the prize. Plus, the bigger the tree, the more wood I can use for my dams." The children then saw a fruit fly munching on a banana peel. They asked it if it knew what the rings meant. She said, the beautiful rings represent a long life and an even longer legacy. We fruit flies live only about 50 days, so the idea of a very long life is very meaningful to us. Just then a frog was hopping by, and he overheard their conversation. "Oh, to me the tree rings represent a glimpse into the environment. Wide rings reflect a rainy season, narrow rings a dry season. They can tell a story about temperature, and even if there were forest fires. Just as trees do, we frogs reflect environmental conditions, both in the water and on land." The children were beginning to see that each animal understood the rings differently, based on its own experiences. Just then a heron called to them from the bank of the stream. "To me," said the heron, "the rings represent a full belly. They look like ripples when I stab my bill into the water to catch a fish. The ripples spread out like rings on a tree stump." "That might be true," said a nearby turkey vulture munching on a fish carcass, "but to me the rings represent freedom. I ride the air currents circling higher and higher on the thermals and fly for days without flapping my wings much at all." The children were amazed. Even two birds can see two different things in the rings on the stump. A little squirrel chirped at them from a nearby tree. "To me, tree rings mean danger. It means a tree has fallen and I can't use it to run from predators. That, and it won't produce any more nuts for me to collect. It's just bad in every way." The sun was beginning to set and a bat swooped by, just stretching its wings after a long daytime slumber. To me the rings represent sound waves in the air. This is how I can find my dinner and avoid bumping into trees and buildings. The children were truly amazed. Each animal saw something different in the tree rings. They then decided to ask a nearby tree, what would a tree think of the rings? They stood there and stood there and stood there, but the tree didn't answer them. The animals all looked at them and shook their heads in derisive pity, then left the children just as the sun was setting. The moral of the story is, trees can't talk. If you try to have a conversation with a tree, you'll look pretty stupid in front of the animals. Have a great day.